Hello, everyone. I'm excited to welcome you all here today. I hope you're having a pleasant day so far. I'm pleased to welcome you to a session of the Inspiring Journeys into Product Management series organized by the Institute of Product Leadership. I'm Harleen and I'll be your host for today's session. The Inspiring Journey into Product Management series is to help you gain insights from individuals who have successfully transitioned into product management or accelerated their careers into product leadership. In today's session, our speaker will share his experience on making a career transition from being a senior software engineer to a senior product manager. Once he's done presenting his insights, we will open up for questions. Please keep your questions ready. You can post your questions on Zoom in the Q&A section. This session is also being streamed live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So viewers on any of these channels, please feel free to post your questions in the comments section and we will share them with the speaker. Without further ado, let me kickstart this session by welcoming and introducing today's speaker, Mr. Kartik Dasani. Kartik has over 13 years of experience in the IT industry and 8 plus years building low-code SaaS products. He worked as a software engineer for more than a decade before deciding to switch tracks to product management. He currently focuses on working as a full-time product manager with a focus on developing a customer-centric design thinking mindset. Pleased to welcome you this evening, Kartik.
Hey, Haleen, thank you so much for that introduction, and I hope you can see my face properly. I've
Yes,
done my best to make sure that the lighting is all right, but unfortunately, this is the best I can do.
that's all right. No worries. Okay, the screen or is yours? We can.
Sure, I can probably share my screen. Just give me a second. Okay. I hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, your screen's visible, Kartik.
Okay, great. Thank you. So I'll get right into it. A little bit about me. I think Harleen's covered almost everything, so I'll just touch upon a few things that yes, I've been working for almost 14 years. It'll be 14 years this year, and uh, 2 of those years have been as a product manager full time. Before that, as Haleen mentioned, I was working as a software engineer for most of my career. And somewhere along the line, I decided to switch into product management. So, kind of double clicking into my whole experience, I started my career as a software engineer. I come from a CSE background, and when I started working, I realized I had the hunger to well study and improve my skill set. So after a couple of years of working as a software engineer, I started doing a master's degree as well from BITS Pilani, it's called a work integrated learning program. After completing that, it helped me better understand my work, and it got me a couple of promotions as well. I got into the roles of senior software engineer. When I actually went into this senior software engineer role, that is when I really became aware of product management. Because as a senior software engineer, I was pulled into more meetings along with senior leadership, and there was always this one person on the table who seemed to have a lot of insights about um, what the product is about, how the users use this product, how the market trends are, what our competitors are doing. And it kind of got me thinking as to, what is this role. So that is when I started doing a little bit of R&D about the role. Mind you, this was around the time when I think I was around, I'd been working as a software engineer for about 9 years by that time. And that's when I started really thinking about my future. So I started having discussions with my manager about what I would do next. So I had the option of going into the management side of things, that is becoming an engineering manager, or continuing on the technical side and becoming an architect. While both of those had their appeal, there was something actually which made me really think about a third possibility in my career, and that was product management. So I started digging a bit into what a product manager does, what it requires to be a product manager. Now, uh, I'm an introvert, so I don't tend to open up very easily. I don't tend to ask too many questions. And first up, I realized that is something that can come in the way of becoming a product manager. So I had to internalize the fact that um, being an introvert and being a product manager was going to be a difficult task for me. After a lot of introspection and a lot of thinking, I still wanted to be a product. So I started figuring out ways that I can do that. One of the most obvious ways would be to go back to college, that is, do a full-time MBA, and then uh, take up a product role from campus placement. While that was something that I could have pursued, it was not something that was possible for me at that point of time in my career and my life. So I try to look at other ways where that could help me achieve my dream of becoming a product manager. So I started looking at courses and certifications. I quickly realized that there's a lot of material uh, out there on how or what to do as a product manager. But there are a few very, very critical or important things that you have to know as a product manager. And that was something that is just missing. There was a lot of fluff available on the internet, but not really any sort of a structured approach. So I did a little more digging and came across a couple of um, let's call them institutes which provide um, backing for product manager aspirants, and one of them was IPL. I decided to take it up for various reasons, and thankfully I was able to crack a role in product management. So I joined Target Corporation in Bangalore as a product manager, and that was my first full-time role as a product manager. And the thing is, by that time, the interesting thing is that I was already I had already been working full time for almost 12 years, and it still felt like the first day of work after I had started my first job right out of college. And the reason was that I quickly realized that no matter how much preparation I put into it, I would need to do a lot of learning after getting into the role. And it was not just about learning frameworks or memorizing templates or knowing buzzwords, but the most important thing was mindset. So you have to really start thinking like a product manager before anything else. And I, for one, had almost 12 years of baggage as an engineer. So I had to offload that very quickly, um, and put that aside, stop thinking like an engineer and start thinking more like a product manager. So I was lucky to actually have a really good mentor um, when I joined Target Corporation, and he was there to guide me and correct me when I started veering off the path of what a product manager does. That helped me a lot. And after working there for a while, I got an opportunity to um, join ServiceNow, which was a firm I had left as a software engineer. So I jumped on that chance to work as a product manager there with my old team. Um, and after having worked there for about a little more than a year, I was luckily promoted as well. Um, so that is where I am today, um, working as a full-time product manager with ServiceNow. So coming to what it is actually like being a full-time product manager, well, for one thing, the biggest change for someone like me, for someone like an engineer who has always had a very structured approach to work, um, being a product manager comes with a lot of uncertainty. So as an engineer, you're told what to do, your inputs are taken, but on the whole, there is someone who decides what is going to be developed. There's someone who decides the direction that the product is going to take. Uh, your inputs are sought from the point of view of how do we take the product into that direction, and how long will it take us to take the product into that direction. But as a product manager, uh, you are one of the people who helps define a vision, a roadmap for your product. And that does not mean um, a list of features that have to go next. It means that what exactly uh, is going to be the direction and vision of your company, of that particular product as a whole. What kind of value are you looking to bring for your customers who are using your product? And while bringing that value, how is your company, how is your organization going to benefit by providing that value to customers? So these are the questions that a product manager tries to answer. And the way that they answer that is by, well, the most simple and straightforward way is by talking to customers and talking to end users. And when I say talking to them, it does not mean just having a chat with them and then making a list of features that they ask for. It means that really listening to what they're saying and then figuring out what exactly is the actual impediment in their way to doing their work. So if you look at anything in terms of a software product, it is a means to an end. It is a tool which is being used by someone to achieve a certain set of tasks. And if there is a hindrance in achieving that set of tasks, uh, then the job of the product manager is to figure out what those hindrances are. There's a really awesome book called The Mom Test. If you guys haven't already read it or haven't heard of it, I would strongly recommend checking it out. Uh, in short, what the book says is that you have to really listen to what your users or customers are saying. You can't really ask them, is this product a good product? I'm thinking of adding these features. Is it a good idea? Because more often than not, they're going to just lie to, not hurt your feelings. Your job as a product manager is to kind of dig into what is happening with the customers, what is happening with the users, what impediments they're facing, and it is up to you to figure out, based on all of that information, how to set a particular direction for your product and how to help your team achieve that direction. So that is what I do these days full time. And it is not the easiest job in the world. As I said, it comes with a lot of uncertainty. It comes with a lot of unknowns. You have to be very, very proactive in trying to figure out every single thing. There's no one's going to come and tell you that, try to figure out if this set of features is fine or not. It's up to you to actually talk to customers, do surveys, do whatever it takes to get all of the information and data to back a certain decision, to back why a certain set of features should make it to the product, or why a certain set of features does not need to go into the product. So that is what my life is like today. A lot of meetings. In fact, once I finish this call, I'll be getting into then the second round of meetings for the day. So that is how it is for, being a full-time product manager. And now I've been talking for a lot of time, so I'll just pause here and see if there are any questions. In fact, this is basically what my journey has been so far. I'm sure that you guys will have a lot of questions. I'm happy to answer them if you have them. And back to you, Harleen.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Kartik. I don't think we've received any questions as of yet, but I think we have one chat here. Um, I think that is just to name the book again that you mentioned.
Oh, sure.
Okay. Also, we have Manikandan who's raised their hand. Manikandan, I think you should be able to unmute yourself now.
Yeah, yes. I just unmuted myself. Am I audible? First of all,
Yes, we can hear you.
thanks for it, and also thanks, Karthik, for your session about your journey into a product manager. It was a really good session where I shared out experience on this, and also my question about here is I'm actually working as a technical product trainer right now.
Mhm.
I'm there working as a technical product trainer. So because of I don't have a much to be about a coding knowledge or something like that. But anyway, as a product manager, we will be just working on into the different cross functionalities. So how we will be adapting it to the role actually.
Mhm.
So how it
Mhm.
will be, because from my experience as a product trainer, so how it will be uh, to adapt as a product manager, because how taking up the not alone taking up the certifications, and then about from this course what we learn from the IPL, how it will be useful in the real time perspective. So it will be fine if you share out with your idea and things with me.
Sure. So great question, Manikandan. And the thing is, full honesty, my technical background does help with especially when I'm talking with the engineering team. It takes me a little less time than say a non-technical product manager would take to understand why something cannot be done in a given time frame, or why there are technical challenges that are preventing from the team to do a certain feature a certain way. But that does not mean that a technical background is a necessity for being a product manager. It helps for sure, but not having a technical background is not a handicap, I would say. It's just that you would need to probably put in a little extra effort to get a bit of more domain knowledge about the product that you would be taking care of as a product manager. it would mean that you would need to maybe sit with and understand and empathize with the engineering a little more. But at the end of the day, um, what does the product manager do? A product manager's main role is empathizing with your users, with your customers, understanding all of their problems, understanding all of their challenges, and helping your internal stakeholders understand those problems, to kind of work together and figure out a way that these impediments for the users and customers can be removed by doing whatever is necessary, that could translate to a feature being added, or that could translate to a service being provided, or that could even be as simple as just updating some documentation to better explain some things to a customer or user. So at the end of the day, as long as you have put in the effort and time to really understand the domain that you will be working for, it should be all right. I hope that helps, Manikandan.
Yeah, thanks, Kartik. Yeah, thank you.
That's great. Thank you, Kartik. We have a question from Sapna who's asked, how do you get a first job as a product manager without any prior experience? As most of product management roles they've seen as requirement of experience in the field.
So good question and very, very relevant, I would say. The thing is that um, product management is such a role that it does require a lot of domain knowledge, a lot of um, history or background of what the product is all about in order to be able to be successful. So in my experience, there have been two ways to achieve that. In my case, I tried to actually move into product management within the organization that I was working for, that is ServiceNow. For various reasons, I was not able to do that. And the second way is to to be able to take advantage of what do you call um, the one of the good features of IPL, I feel, which is the career assistance, in the sense that they have something akin to a placement cell that you have at colleges. They invite companies to come and hire product managers. When I was doing this course back in 2020, I think, or 2021, I think, at that point of time, there were events called talentathons, where companies would come share their a bit of their background and the roles that they're trying to hire, and then set a challenge for us to go back, take back home, and come back with a presentation on how we would tackle that particular use case. Depending on that, they would shortlist a few candidates to go into further rounds of interviews. So for me personally, that is what allowed me to crack my first role as a product manager. Target was one of the organizations which came and did a talentathon in IPL, and I was luckily able to crack one of the roles as a product manager. But the other way to do it would be if your organization has a requirement for a product manager and they are willing to give you the chance and backing to be able to move into that role.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Kartik. We have Gautam who's raised his hand. Gautam, I think you should be able to unmute yourself now.
Yeah, hi. Able to hear me?
Yep, I
Yes.
can hear you.
Yeah, hi, Kartik. It's good to see you're also from ServiceNow, and I'm also from ServiceNow.
Oh, nice.
I'm not from the company, but I'm working as a business analyst in the products of ServiceNow.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been into ServiceNow for the last 8 years, and I've been working as a business analyst. So, what would be my advantage to move into product management, and what would be my pain point or
Mhm.
pain points? I would say moving into product management, coming from a business analyst role.
So I would say that your advantage is your experience. I mean, any experience anywhere working in the IT industry is useful for any type of role. So your experience, in fact, gives you the upper hand of having been a user of a platform. So you already know what a user faces in terms of challenges when using a particular product, and you can use that sort of an experience to better empathize with customers and users. So I would say that is your advantage there, that you know a particular domain really well, and you know what it is like to be on the user end of things. From the challenges point of view, I would say there's nothing exceptional or nothing different from what anyone else trying to crack into a management role would face. It would be a matter of developing this sort of product mindset, which would be the key, and understanding a little deeper as to what a product manager does day in, day out. That would be the key for you. Otherwise, there isn't really a challenge that is unique to you and your profile. I would say that being a product manager for you is a matter of developing a product mindset. In fact, that is true for everyone who's trying to break into product, that the most important, the core thing over there is to develop a product mindset. And when I say product mindset, I don't mean uh, some sort of a definition of product mindset or anything like that. I just mean that you have to start thinking like a product manager. You have to start thinking in terms of what brings value to my customers, what are the issues that they're facing, what are the problems that they're facing day in, day out, and what is the solution, or what is a set of solutions, or what are the set of features which will prompt them uh, to keep using my product, to give good reviews for my product, to maybe purchase a pro license for my product. So these are the things which should keep you up at night as a product manager, and I think that is true for anyone who's trying to break into product.
Yeah, thanks, Kartik. And one more question here is, it's been 8 years, right? So is this the right time for me to go move into the product management?
See, my one of my role models is my dad. He changed his career completely at the age of 40 with 2 kids and a wife. So I I am a firm believer personally of the fact that age is not a limit for anything, and experience is not a limit for anything. It does not matter if you have 2 years of experience, 8 years of experience, 18 years of experience. Uh, it is just a matter of a personal preference, or a need or want, or itch to actually do something different or to do something new. If you feel that you want to move into product management, and there are genuine reasons, that there are strong reasons for you to think that way and feel that way, then go for it. There is no such thing as late in the career or early in the career. You can make a switch into product management at any given point of time in your career.
Thanks, Kartik. Nice meeting you.
Welcome.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. We have Ashish who's raised their hand. Ashish, I think you should be able to unmute yourself now.
Yeah, I'm able to unmute. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Ashish.
Yeah, hello, Kartik. So I have like 15 years of experience entirely in QA areas. So I'm currently working as a senior lead or like associate project manager in QA in one of the leading MNC company in Bangalore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also interested to switch to product management role because it excites me a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Only caveat which I see is like there are very few openings. So I have seen very less product managers leaving the company and opening the opportunities for new guys to uh, go into that role. And even if it opens, which is very very rare in my organization, like they will hire from somewhere else instead of giving that opportunity to someone who is from technical background, right? So what I see is technical background is not seen as a very good candidate for product management roles. So how feasible is it for me to switch into this kind of role?
So honestly, I am currently working with 3 other product managers within my organization who have all transitioned from technical roles to product management, and 2 of them have got a QA background. So you actually, coming from a QA background, have the advantage of uh, having the user's perspective. Like I think Gautam was saying, now you have even more advantage than him because of the fact that you are already an expert of your domain. You know everything about your product. You know everything about the service that you work as a QA for, and that gives you a great advantage. So what I would suggest is that, if possible, and if your manager or your leadership is open-minded enough, that is again something that you know better than me. So if they are open-minded enough, if you're comfortable enough with talking with them, I would suggest that you talk with them and tell them that you would want an opportunity to work as a product manager.
Actually, I
And
already I'm sorry to interrupt you. So I've already expressed my interest with one of my very high management and vice president kind of role. So what they suggested me to get certifications or trainings, and if there are any openings, then they will let me know. But I rarely see any openings. So whoever is the product manager, they are already there. I I don't see them leaving.
I understand why that is. So one of the key strengths of a product manager, or a key requirement for a product manager, is that they should know their domain and product in and out. So you should be able to wake them in the middle of the night and ask them a question about their product, and they should be able to answer that. You only get that kind of knowledge by staying put with a particular company or product for a long time. So jumping from firm to firm is something that you will probably not see a lot of in product managers. Even if they do move from organization to organization, you will see that they move from one organization to a very similar organization. So that I can understand where that is coming from. The best I can suggest that you do is you prepare yourself from the point of view of a product manager. Uh, See what kind of certifications they think that you need. There are, of course, some certifications in for example, CSPO, which some organizations feel that product managers should have, which I personally don't feel the need for. But full disclosure, I did CSPO. I don't put it up on my profile because I don't think it is of any use to most employers. But if that is something that your employer feels is important for you to learn from product perspective, then go ahead. And the best you can do at the moment is keep yourself prepared for any opportunity that comes. Um, the other way is maybe something like IPL's talentathons, which can probably give you an opportunity to maybe interview for a product role in a different organization. But one thing that I would like to let you know, Ashish, and anyone else who is trying to move into product um, and has a significant amount of experience, is that for me, I went from being a senior software engineer on the verge of getting my staff software engineer promotion uh, to going back to an almost associate role as a product manager. So now for me, that was fine. I was fine with that compromise. But you guys should really ask yourself if that is a compromise that you're willing to make, if that is a compromise, if that you are comfortable with. That kind of compromise comes into picture when you move out of an organization you're already working for and into another organization which is hiring for maybe a junior product manager kind of a role, or an APM role, associate product manager role. It would be something that you should consider if you're really wanting to move into a product manager role. But that is just something I feel it is best to point out, because I myself took a downgrade when I moved into a product manager role. I am thankfully back now to where I started off my journey, but it took a while. So it's just something to keep in mind.
So our last question from me. I don't want to like eat.
No, sure. Please.
So there are less opportunities in this field, right, Kartik? Or I personally feel that because wherever I've worked, I've seen seen very product manager leaving the organization and getting very less opportunity. It is not like a software developer job where you can apply and if you're good, you'll get it. Like
True.
it's not.
It's a very specialized field. It is as the saying goes, very difficult to find a good product manager. And so once an organization finds a good product manager, they try their best to retain them as much as possible, because a bad product manager can do a lot more damage than a good product manager can do good for an organization. So the thing is that yes, it is a difficult field to crack, and it is a difficult field to maintain your career in, for sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
We have a question from YouTube. They've asked how much domain knowledge plays a part. Like, if someone who is from non tech, how would they be able to succeed in product management?
Right. So again, it is a matter of what an individual is capable of in terms of learning. So um, I've known people who have shifted from working for a bank to becoming a digital marketing or SEO expert. So they came from a completely different background, like BCom plus MBA finance and working for a bank as an RM, to going into a completely different field altogether and doing something completely different, understanding what SEO is, digital marketing is, and so on and so forth. So it is not something that so there is no such thing as impossible in my book. What needs to be done from such an individual who does not have a technical background is to spend a little more time trying to understand the domain. So if you pick any organization for that matter, you can find enough material online to give you a good idea about what that organization does and its products and the domain. So it is really completely up to the individual to put in the effort to understand what they're getting into in terms of domain and product. It is difficult for people from a non-technical background, but what you have to keep in mind is that as a product manager, you're expected to understand something functionally rather than technically. So as long as you're able to understand your product and domain functionally really well, you should be fine. Of course, knowing technically helps, but it does not mean that you cannot do the role of a product manager if you don't have the technical background.
Okay, great. Thank you, Kartik. I see that we have more questions coming in and some hands raised, but unfortunately, due to time constraints, we will have to um, wind up soon. So, to everyone who is still sorry about not being able to answer your questions, we will have more series like these where I'm sure you will be able to get your questions answered. But before we just wind up, I would like to thank Kartik for being here and sharing his journey with everyone and his insights. Thank you, Kartik.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
It's been a complete pleasure having you with us. Please accept this certificate of appreciation from the Institute. The QR code on the certificate will take you to a dedicated Hall of Fame page that has been created for you with the recording of this session.
Thank you.
We will also be sharing this session on our YouTube channel. Thank you once again, Kartik, for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thank you.
That's great. To all our attendees, thank you all for joining in. I'm sure you've had a fruitful time at this session and have a better idea on how to go ahead with your career roadmap and transitioning into product management. Thank you all once again for being here this evening. I hope you have a nice rest of the evening. I look forward to hosting you again in the future. Thank you.